All right, mic check, 1, 2. Nope, it's going to play a Twitch ad, so that's cool. Just assuming that we're working here. Good evening, everybody. InsaneSparty, America's F2 Thursdays. This week we are in Mexico, followed by COTA. For those of you just joining, or if you've forgotten since my lovely monologues last week, first race is a 25% race, no formation lap, and probably no safety cars because that's how the F1 game works this season. 10 laps, and that will be followed by a 20 or 50% inverted top 10 race for the second race that will be at the Circuit of the Americas. As we're getting started here, recap of our standings. We have, we'll follow jelly bologna ham sandwich around the track here. And top of the standings so far through 4 weeks, Verts with a commanding 67-point lead with 221 points over Viridis, who unfortunately has some pump issues tonight and will not be racing. Blackman in third with 135 points. Vitamin D in fourth with 120. Drag King in fifth with 97. Nico sixth with 89. Jelly Bologna Ham seventh with 82. Sublime and Tom are tied for eighth with 57 points. Captain Schmeg rounds out the top 10 with 53 points. Over on the constructors side, we have Art leading with 274, followed by Prima with 226, Dams 185, MP 150, Virtuosi with 121, Carlin with 102, Trident with 90, High Tech 63, Bar 57, Compost with 46, and Charles with 16 points. A little bit about the course. This is the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez Grand Prix track in Mexico. It's a 2.674 mile track, approximately 4.304 kilometers. 17 turns, 3 DRS zones on this course. One very long one that you see here. It's Jelly Bologna Ham is coming in 7th place. Running down the order, Blackman, I believe, gets his first top pole position of the season. He's in first, followed by Verts, who doesn't have much to go to the front of the grid, heading towards turn 1. Captain Schmeg in third, Drag King in fourth, Sublime in fifth, Robert Elder sixth, Jelly Bologna Ham in seventh, Highside eighth, Sergeant Bill in ninth, Phil in 10, Rocket 11, Flavis 12, Jerk 13th, and we have a bevy of DQ'd guys, Style, Vitamin D, Squish, and Nico. All DQ'd, starting at the rear of the grid. Hopefully no drama, but we shall see. For anybody that was following the stream or watched the video from last week, you will remember that there were not one but 2 first straightaway massive pileups at both Imola and Monza. Hopefully we can avoid that on this very long straightaway, barreling down to the turn 1, very tight turn 2, turn 3 chicane. We should be seeing the countdown. Viridis, you've joined in the chat. Wish you could be here racing. We did peep your time trial time, which was towards the top of the world record leaderboards. So you'll be sorely missed. Got some ground to catch up on Verts, unless some sort of missile maybe catches him. Hoping that the lobby's doing good as we're still waiting for players. Verts has left the session. We are migrating a host. None of this is good. I shall check the chat and see what is going on. We are restarting the lobby really quick. That is fantastic. Sub for Lime is doing a super duper excellent job at being the host. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume that we'll be doing a custom grid. Excuse me while I'm reading all the lovely things here in the chat. do, do. Bum, bum, bum. And please bear with us while we restart the lobby. I guess since we have some time here, let's go back and recap some of the incidents from last week. We had only one reported incident. We had a four-car pileup on the front straight of Imola, where Viridis did get tagged for a 2-second penalty. Contact was made over on his right-hand side, which pushed him into another car that was on his left, and the game, being the lovely F1 game that we all know and love, decided to give him an unwarranted penalty, so that was removed. So he had that removed from his race, and I believe, where's my race results? That he still, well, he got 5th place. So I believe he moved up 1 spot from 6th place to 5th place on that. And we're waiting on the custom grid to be set, I'd assume, unless it's still one shot. Mm. All right, we are staying one shot. Apparently the fixed setups were not in place for the qualifying, so we had a little bit of possible uneven setups for the car, and so we shall rectify that. It'll be like everything didn't happen. So all those 4 guys that got disqualified in the first fake qualifying session will have some redemption here that they can do for the second one. Looks like we need some, maybe 1 or 2 more guys. We are missing, who we're missing? I think we are missing Jelly Bologna Ham, and that might be it. Well, since we have time, everybody go refresh your drinks, use the facilities, think about the amazing straightaway speed that we're going to achieve in these bus-like cars. As we barrel down towards turn 1, looks like we are partially readying up, but also not. Yes, Captain Schmeg, I am on the comms. You are stuck with me because nobody else wants to do this. And my hero, Joe Buck, with his very little emotion in all of his broadcasting. He's not my hero, by the way, but that is just a fantastic comparison that I think I'll take. Looks like we are ready for the second time. Second chances for 4 of the guys. We did pick the correct track, so I guess that's good for the lobby hosts that we have. Hopefully the fixed setups are in order. We followed Jelly Bologna Ham the first time around. And this time around we shall follow I don't see all the... They must have fixed the glitch, or maybe it's not in the F2 with the pit crew standing there in their little A or their T pose. Looks like they're already inside the garages. So we followed Jelly Bologna Ham. We're going to follow the professional, Phil, coming down the main straight. Probably achieving approximately 60 miles an hour in this vehicle. Drives like a bus. More downforce than a NASCAR. Turn 1 and 2, very important that you get the correct line in there. The wrong line can set you up for a slow exit down the second DRS straightaway. Another chicane into the quote-unquote hat section. Phil looks like he's losing a bit of ground here, falling back to 16th. Captain Schmeg, if the video is correct, currently leading the way. Verts in second. Sub in fourth. We had Blockman who had, and there goes Phil. Phil is a round. Crypto Jack. Interesting. Well, either a lot of people went around as well, or our leaderboard is slightly off. Who knows? Verts is way down. Verts has invalidated. Nico invalidated. Highside invalidated. Looks like Blockman took the pole in the first fake qualification. Seems to have made some ground. Sets the lap by 3/10 of a second. Then another 3/10. Then another 3/10. Big spread for the first 4 guys. And then it gets very close. You're looking at just over 2/10 of a second. I think that was between 4th place and maybe 10th. Predictions. Predictions. I would say it's going to be Verts for the win. Let's run this down real fast. So we got Blackman on pole, Captain Schmeg second, Drag King third, Subline fourth, Vitamin D fifth, Jelly Bologna Ham sixth, Squish seventh, Robert Elders eighth, Sergeant Bill ninth, Style 10th, Rocket that's 11th, Flavis 12th, Jerk, Phil 13th, 14th, Nico, Verts, and Highside round out the order, DQ'd. So yes, actually, hold on. I'm going to take this back. We are going to say Verts is starting way back in the back. I think that's going to be a tall order for him. We're going to go. We're going to go Blockman. We're going to go Blockman for the win. I think that Verts will get into the top 5. And who else we got there? I think it'll be a battle between Blockman and Schmeg was pretty strong there in qualifying. We're going to give Sublime, with his lack of lobby coordinator skills he showed today, I think he'll maybe get a podium to redeem himself in some sort of fashion in this first race here. So here we go. If this follows the correct format, there will not be a formation lap. Always a surprise. All right, here we go. 5 red lights. And we're off. Blockman, followed by Schmeg. Looks like JBH. That's not good, fellas. Drag King looks to have gotten loose and pegged Captain Schmeg maybe got loose and pegged Drag King. Going already. As we head through turns 1 and 2. This one was pretty good, but yet again, America's F2, as we got, looks like Squish went around as well into the grass. Doesn't have damage to the front wing. High side. Oh man, fellas. I don't even know. Open lobby season here on America's F2. It's absolutely amazing. Professor Phil in 8th. Oh. Well, we caught one of the incidents, missed another one of the incidents. We shouldn't have this many incidents. It's almost like these guys have never driven a car, or the F2 car is just an absolute bus driving around with no regard for anything whatsoever. Blockman already out over a second lead over Vitamin D, followed closely by Jelly Bologna Ham. Robert Elder hot behind as well, Sergeant and Sub. Then we got a little bit of a gap. Hertz already up 9 spots, so there we go, inside the top 10 already just after a lap. Biggest losers thus far of that first lap, Captain Schmeg down 13 and Squish down 10, both of them involved in an incident. Drag King looked to be a bystander on that one, got kind of T-boned off the start, as we have, is that Nico? No, that was Drag King, I believe, destroying one of those marker boards. Don't tell, take her easy. Drag King, Professor Phil side by side through the slow hat section. Nico right on Phil's tail. Somewhat orderly. Style gets a little bit squirrely into the S's. Verts picks up a time penalty. That's not going to help the cause here. Got some action here. Good little potential battle. We should have DRS activated this lap. Won't be on the first straight, but it should be. This jerk is falling a little bit. Captain Schmeg has gained 2 spots, so only has lost 11 so far on the race. JBH making the pass on Vitamin D. Clean into 1. Robert Elder trying to close. Not going to have enough room to be able to make that pass. Looks like Rocket and Phil. No, Rocket passed Phil. Schmeg was around. Verts 7th place, but does have a 2-second penalty already. Wouldn't impact the standings at this moment. Robert Elder coming through the S's. Picks up the DRS, but also Vitamin D does have DRS as well. Goes a little bit wide. Danger, almost a dangerous re-entry there with Sergeant Bill right on his heels. They do go through the stadium section, no contact. A little bit of almost a little bit of a push and shoving. Robert Elder on the back of Vitamin D. Should be able to take this. Does have the wing open. Move should be all but done by the time they get to turn 1. Sergeant goes a little bit wide on turn 1. Gets it recovered for turn 2. Good exit on 3. Should still have DRS zone going back as we look back at Birch on the back of Sublime. Birch looking a little bit to the inside. Wisely does not make that move. Lots of times you'll see someone make that move, and that will end up with broken wing. All these guys will still have DRS when we hit the S's, after the S's. Birch, although over the back of Sub, does still have that time penalty. Vitamin D. Too far behind Robert Elder to make that move stick. We do have Verts going inside Sublime as they come into the stadium section. Tiny bit of contact, give each other room. Good on exit. Coming around the final corner 17. Side by side, good racing. They both should have DRS. Let's see. Nope, Sub did not have DRS. Too far behind. So he was a sitting duck to Verts there. Looks like high side wasn't quite able to close the gap on Phil. Tried to go a long way around in turn 1. Flavis making a pass, possibly. Good little battle here, side by side. Did not end up making the pass and actually lost another position. So Flavis passed by Captain Schmeg and Squish on that exchange. Captain Schmeg trying to make big rally from the beginning of this race. Drag King through the S's. Will not have DRS on Sublime. Trustford Phil will have some DRS on Rocket. Won't be able to make a move here, but definitely will be in position for the first DRS zone on this main straightaway. As it looks like Jerk took a little spin. Exit of the S's, that can be a little treacherous. Blackman way out in front, 3 seconds over Jelly Bologna Ham. Robert Elder getting chased down. DRS is available for Vitamin D as they head towards the corner. Robert Elder blocks the inside, goes back to the outside. The car looks a little bit squirrely there. Might be some connectivity. Bert's around the outside of Sargent, barreling towards the top of the chart, but still has that 2-second penalty. That will definitely come into play with these cars. Flavis is out. Flavis has crashed. Actually, it looks like he retired in the pits. Robert Elder gets a little loose there on exit. Passed by Vitamin D. Coming towards the S sections. Car does look like it's a little jumping a little bit, but this whole train here, Hertz is going to need to put down some time. He possibly could lose up to 3 spots. We are only on lap 6, so there's some ample time to be able to do it. Sublime on the back of Sargent. Both will have DRS available. So they should not really gain a whole lot on each other. Sub's getting a little bit from that draft. Robert Elder. That's a terrible view game, thank you. Well, I would like to see the other car. There we go. Robert Elder around Vitamin D. Sublime and Sargent going side by side. Sublime barrels his way past. Sargent does not have does have DRS, so they both still have DRS. Drag King all over the back of Sargent now. So Phil and Rocket side by side here. A little bit of a contact between Rocket and Phil. Mr. Highside right behind. Looking to take advantage of any missteps by the two, and style right there as well. Phil got a little squirrely there. We have high side. He's trying to make a pass in a spot that isn't really a good one to be side by side and gets shuffled back just a tad. Still has the position on, had the position on Style. I stand corrected. So Style up to 12th, high side down to 13th. Nico following Drag King. Blockman way out front. And as leaders do in F2, once you get to this far out front, you don't make a mistake, you're golden. It's usually the MO that Verts has. You can see up 11 spots for this race so far. Sargent trying to retake that position from Sublime. Doesn't have it at the end of this DRS zone. We'll have to wait till the S's. Probably going to just wait until they get to the main straightaway. Everybody's spaced pretty well far out now. Verts still needs to do some work. It would only drop 2 positions at the moment. All over the back of Vitamin D. Both of them have DRS. He does look to the inside, does not make that move. Is wise to not do that one. He's on a compromised position through these corners here. Tucks back in behind. Sometimes it's wise just to live to fight another corner. He will have position. Vitamin D is way too far back to get DRS. As you can see, Verts all over him. Outside picks up a 2-second penalty. Sublime going to be here picking up scraps. He does not push the envelope there to make that pass. Will have DRS at the exit of this corner. You can see Vitamin D does not. But not a whole lot of ground is made up here by Sub on this exchange. Sargent and Drag King, side by side. A little bit of a whoop contact. Very hard to be side by side here as Nico, as you saw, came across the left front of Drag King. It's going to be not too happy. This Rocket is going to be on the attack. Rocket's currently sitting in 10th spot. He and Phil. Well, something happened there between Nico and Sargent. Nico's going for a ride now. Trying to get that terrible F2 car back under him. So currently, let's see if Phil is able to get by Nico. Both of these guys now side by side. Nico's tires are probably a tad warm at this point in time. Phil is now in the optimal transfer spot to the second race, where he would invert to pole position. We have Robert Elder. 2 last chances here on Jelly Bologna Ham. Lap 10 of 10, final lap. Not presented by Credit One Bank. Blockman sailing 5 seconds clear of the field. As long as he does not bend it, he's got it in the bag. Everybody's pretty spread out. Nico and Phil, probably the closest little battle we have here. Let's follow Blockman through Sector 3. And we're going to skip back to Robert Elder, see if he can make a move. Won't be able to get it done into the stadium section. Sublime also, very orderly. Professor Phil does have side-by-side with Rocket as they're going down into the stadium section. Blockman passes the line, wins handily. Professor Phil around Rocket. JBH is in second. Robert Elder gets third. Nico gets a little bit loose there. There's not a whole lot of room for cars to go side by side. Might have been an end plate or something fall off there. So as we see Captain Schmeg, don't know exactly what happened there because, you know, the game wants us to view from the side view mirror on the side pod. Style in front of Schmeg. Let's follow Jerk home here. And Jerk coming out of turn 17 towards line. There we go. Race 1 is in the books. Alright, so let's see. I didn't write that down, but my prediction there was Blockman was going to win. Verts was going to be a top 5, I think. And then I said Sub was going to be second, which obviously did not happen. So for race number 1, Blockman takes home the trophy. JBH in second. Robert Elder rounds out the podiums. Verts up into 4th from 16th. Fantastic drive for him. Sublime in 5th. Vitamin D 6th. Sargent in 7th. Drag King 8th. Professor Phil 9th. Rocket rounds out the top 10. In 10th, he will invert to be on the pole for the second race. Nico, with that little, with those incidents and spins that happen inside the stadium section, is unfortunately 11th. Will stay there for the second race. Squish in 12th, Highside 13th, Style in 14th, Captain Schmeg 15th, Jerk in 16th, and Flavis in 17th. Looks like somebody had 6 seconds of penalties. That's rather impressive. You don't see that too often in a 10-lap race. And there will be a slight delay. Sublime 5-minute break before race number 2 in order to set the grid. Use the facilities, get your favorite beverage refilled, etc., etc. Learn from your mistakes, whatever you did wrong in race 1, and apply them to a totally different track in race 2. So we shall return in approximately 4 minutes. Hang tight. All right, welcome back. America's Thursday F2. We are beyond the 5 minutes that we were told by our fantabulous lobby coordinator slash admin slash guy who is in charge tonight. So hopefully we kick this off real soon. While we are waiting, we do have the top 10 from the first race will be inverted. So you'll see Black Man going from first, having to drive through the field, starting in 10th for this next race. Rocket will assume the pole, and vice versa for everybody inside the top 10. Nico will start 11th. We should, quote unquote, should have a formation lap. Caution should be a thing if they are so desired by the game to actually execute properly. And 16 laps at Circuit of the Americas from Austin, Texas. The ready up signal is being waited on intently by your broadcaster. Perhaps Sublime is getting himself another margarita. And there we go. Ready up signal has been given. Countdown should commence. And there we go. So after yet another action-packed race start that we saw in Mexico, which happened last week at Imola and at Monza, both before we got to turn one, we are now 3 for 3 pre-turn one racing incidences. And COTA does have that long drive to the uphill first corner. So we will see what adventure has in store for us in Xbox America's, not Xbox, in America's Thursday F2. All right, hopefully fixed setups are on for this one. There should be a little bit of strategy. Choose your different tire. Fuel should be locked for everybody. Fixed setups, that means purely you are racing on your skill or luck or both. The Circuit of the Americas, as I mentioned, located in Austin, Texas, a 20-turn course, 3.426 miles, approximately 5.513 kilometers. Has been raced on, I do believe, since 2012, which had a large gap. I think maybe 5 years, perhaps. Before that, F1 was raced at in Indianapolis on their course, which, if anybody is old enough to remember, had a lovely tire um, conflict. It's the right word. Searching for the right word here. There was a some tire issues where half the grid decided they would rather drive into the pits and not participate in the race, which Michael Schumacher ended up winning. Anyways, that is not this course. Here we go. Formation lap, we hope, should be on. Yes. There we go. We got something right here, boys. All right, Viridis, let's see. How many incidents? Yeah, that turn one is going to be brutal. I think we will have. What did we have? We had two off the bat. I think we'll get a safety car this race. Definitely think we are due, based on everybody's solid driving thus far. I think a safety car is in tall order. Just from contact. Usually it's pretty hard to DNF yourself here at Circuit of the Americas. You can, let's see, there's a big runoff areas. However, we have seen some DNFs on the F1 race spec side in the turn 17/18, that long triple quadruple right-hander that you have there, depending on the temperatures of your tires. Can get very hot when you're putting all that pressure on them there. And just lose the car and you can smack that inside wall. We have seen that quite a few times. Everywhere else here has pretty good areas for runoffs. But with F122, you never know. You'd never know. You could have a car on track and nothing could be happening, or you could have a Haas lose their front wing and a safety car will come out. So we see Rocket, Sargent, and Drag King have been DQ'd and shall sit all alone on the grid with their tires cooling all the way down. So that incident we were looking at for the turn 1 approach, it could be on. Second row, as you see sitting there in the timeout chairs. We'll have some cold tires. Really don't like this view here, Rocket. Let's get parked. I'm a little seasick. Did not get DQ'd. Phil got DQ'd on his set. Yep. Incident before turn 1. Here we go. 4 for 4? Possibly. Give me a different. I don't want that view. That's a terrible view. And here we go. 10 red lights. We are off. Rocket, Phil barreling towards turn 1. We see, it looks like Sargent got a great jump as the field comes up. So far, that's a terrible view game. Don't give me that view. So far, everybody orderly. We did not have an incident going up into turn 1. I'm absolutely amazed. Through the S's, looks like we're 2-3 wide. Better get this sorted out pretty quick here, fellas. Rocket leads them through the S's. Everybody off track in the back here. Pretty clean thus far, almost halfway through the lap. Barreling down to the long backstretch. This will be a DRS zone when it is active. Drag King side by side already with Rocket. Give me a better view game. There we go. We'll see. How long is he going to stay off the brakes? Pretty good. No contact. Took a good corner there. Drag King is on that super soft tire. That will give him the edge coming out of those corners. But that will also be worn rather quickly. Blockman. High side. Sorting it out. Everything pretty style must have had a little spin or an incident back there. Phil has a penalty already. That's pretty impressive. Not even as we see Rocket and Sargent possibly tangle there. Hurts all the way up into third. Robert Elder, little Mick, a little bit of action here. Flavis off course style, was off course earlier. Robert Elder is going to look for a move. Vitamin D. Looks like Blockman. Blockman got spun around inside those S's. If you hit those corners wrong, depending on your ride height that the game gives you for these fixed setups, you will get bumped off. As we see Schmeg get a little squirrely, Nico's going to be able to be on attack. Cars get a little too close for comfort there. Professor Phil's coming to make it a 3-wide party. Goes in deep into the corner, hits the runoff, avoids those sausage curbs on the exit. Slots in behind Schmeg. Phil down 10 spots, Sub down 7 spots, Blockman down 5. Biggest gainer so far. High side up 6. A couple guys up 4. Jelly Bologna Ham gets a 3-second penalty. Second guy, 2 laps completed, 2 penalties. That's a terrible view. Don't give me that view ever. DRS now enabled. Let's take a quick look over at the tires that everyone's using. Oops. That is not what I want. This is what I want. So we have about just under half the field took the super soft tires. Looks like Jerk had a moment coming out of the exit of 1. If you get on the power too quickly, that will spin you around, breaking that signage board. Somebody paid good money to have their name all over that, and it is now destroyed. Vitamin D trying to chase back down Robert Elder. We'll have DRS. Long straight we have here. Wing is open. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done here unless he takes a big lunge. He holds off. It's wise. Robert Elder's car is jumping, or my beverage is kicking in. I don't know. Captain Schmeg following Phil. Oh, and Phil loses the back end there on acceleration out of the corner. Phil's goal tonight is have a little bit of fun. I don't think Phil is having fun. I am sorry, Phil. This is that triple, quadruple right-hander. Making sure those tires aren't too hot. He does stay out, so maybe he's in it now. Back focus. Let's go take a look through the field. We got Bert gaining on Sargent through the S's. 2 different tire compounds. Sargent should have the speed for a couple more laps, but then these super softs will tail off. Drag King, 2.5+ seconds clear. Can't let him get too far away. We still have 13 laps remaining. And we'll see here. Bert's will have DRS. There it goes. Not gaining too much. Hits the braking zone, slots in behind. As we see Vitamin D getting around Elder with the help of that DRS zone. Blockman gaining a spot on Sublime. Sublime running races like he's running lobbies. Bert's still behind Sargent. Let's come out of the final 2 corners, 19 and 20. We'll have DRS coming up the hill to turn 1. Half a second back. Might not be able to get this done. Sublime picks up 3-second penalty. So there you go. Half second is too far. You're going to need to be about 3/10 if you want to actually get the job done. As you see, good exit by Verts. Following through the S's is going to have to be patient here until they get to the backstretch. I love that the cars disappear and the camera hangs in the back. So here we go. Last time he was here, a little bit of a snap upon exit. Last time he was here, he was about 5/10 behind. He was about 3. Style picks up the penalty, so we got under 4. This might be this might be a little too far. Need to be about 3/10 unless he throws it in. He doesn't exactly throw it in. Sargent gives him ample room. Sometimes, depending on how often you race with the guy, you either know what they're going to do, which is good or bad, and then you make that decision. Do you want damage to your car, or do you want to live to fight a lap later, maybe make a comeback on it? However, Sargent has lost a ton of time. Still will be in the DRS range, but not very long after this. Verts setting his eyes on Drag King. 3+ seconds. Everyone has to pit. Verts will have the optimal tire at the end of this race. We'll see how long he hangs out as we see Highside duck into the pits. First taker at 4 laps. So will that mean our drivers that are on the Super Softs will start to come in on lap 5? Or maybe hang it out until about lap 6 or 7. Blockman chasing down Schmeg through the S's. Here's this corner here. You'll see the sausage curve a little bit on the inside right there that we passed. Sometimes your car hits that one as well and you sail over towards the right of the track. Pick yourself up a nice little warning penalty. So Blockman well within that 3/10 that we saw. Well, was. Both drivers, however, do have DRS. Schmeg was close enough to Rocket to pick that up still. Blockman will get a little bit of a draft. Actually, might be able to see if we make it clean. Does come around. Good move, good pass. Alright, we got Drag King coming out of the final 2 corners. Let's see if he goes another lap or dives in here. He dives into the pits, so there you go. 5 completed laps, 6 completed laps for Drag King. Sargent keeps on keeping on. Squish dives into the pits. Robert Elder. Seems like an every other thing here, boys. Somebody did something. Jerk. Jerk is around in the back. So Verts assumes the lead so far. Will have to pit. See how long his mediums can survive. Sargent 2 seconds back. Blackman still chasing down. Now he's chasing down Rocket after dispatching Captain Schmeg last lap. Flavis and Highside. Professor Phil not having fun. Down in 16th. Finishes his pit stop. Jerk still on the Super Softs. See Flavis goes around after the exit of turn 1. Block bad. Pardon me. Getting close. Putting that move over on Rocket as they both barrel towards the corner. Good room given by each other. A little bit of a wobble there by Schmeg. No contact made with Rocket. That is good. Everybody through there safely. Style loses a place to Drag King. Drag King on those new medium compound tires. Jelly Bologna Ham has a penalty, 6/10 behind Vitamin D. Both guys on the same tire compound as we see Sargent dive into the pits. Robert Elder, I imagine, yep, will also dive into the pits, so there we go. All the super soft guys, except for Jerk, who I imagine will also be pitting this lap. And getting rid of him for some new medium compound tires. Viridis, yes. Monaco and Saudi next. Oh boy, I can't even imagine. If these fellas can't drive in a straight line on some of these wide open courses, what the hell is going to happen in Monaco? All right, Jelly Bologna Ham putting the pressure on Mick. Mike. He does get another penalty. Let's see if that puts him at 6 seconds. First with 3 second also. Keep it within line, boys. That's how you don't lose spots for no reason there at the end of the race. Sector 3, Flavis looks like he has retired in the pits. Unfortunate night for him. I believe that's 2 pit retirements. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes things do not. That seems to be one of those. Drag King, the first guy on new mediums, sitting down there in 9th position. Gap to the leader, 23 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that. 23 seconds. I imagine these guys will stay out until maybe start pitting on lap 10, after lap 10. To get those super soft tires, get as much as they can out of them, while everybody else is on older mediums. So Vert's in the lead. Top 8 guys still need to pit. It does have a 5.5 second gap here, though. That is pretty substantial. Style into the pits rather early. Those last couple laps for him are probably going to be a little bit rough on the super soft compounds. Jelly Bologna Ham following Vitamin D. Coming to the DRS section, 4 tenths back. Needs to pick up another 10th here to actually probably have a good shot. It's half a second, 4 tenths. Don't think he's going to be able to get it done unless he takes a huge lunge here at the end. And there it is. Vitamin D gives him some room. Jelly Bologna Ham is through. See Nico creeping in the screen right back there. 1.4, not in DRS zone just yet. So Drag King was 23 seconds behind the leader. Verts is diving into the pits a little bit earlier than I thought he was going to be. So he was 23, he was down to 22 there. JBH, so Verts is pulling most of the guys into the pits. Vitamin D stays out. We'll see how big this undercut is on the additional medium runners. Captain Schmeg pits. Drag King coming down the front straight. We'll see everyone coming out of the pits here. And Drag King so far does get out front ahead of those super soft compound guys. JBH picking up penalties left and right. If it was through the S's, it literally would be left and right. So Vert 7 seconds back of Drag King. 7 laps remaining. Sargent trying to chase down and get back into DRS zone on Verts, who does have those penalties. I believe 3 seconds. JBH has 9 seconds. There are white lines on the edge of the track. You typically want to stay inside those as many times as possible. Yep, that's my advice for the day. So Vert's picking up almost a second thus far, only on this lap, or maybe half a second. And Drag King on those new tires, Sublime. I was going to say, game, give me the other car that's in the picture here, going around high side. New tires for him, old-ish tires for high side. As you see, Rocket and Rocket and Vitamin D dove into the pits there. They had not pit previously. Looks like we have maybe Sublime around. Sublime is around. Unfortunate for him. Too many margaritas in the tank. Too much Quavo. Guavo. Vitamin D out of the pits. Gonna lose some spots to everybody else that was previously out. Looks like he's gonna lose out to Nico. So the undercut worked for him. So Verts was 7 seconds, now down to 5. Style gets the fastest lap. Attaboy. Driver of the day. Just don't crash now. Jelly Bologna Ham catching up to Sargent. Oh, you got Nico in the picture there. So Nico has made up a little bit of time into that DRS zone as well. It should be an adventure coming down the backstretch. JBH is good pace all over the back of Sargent. 2/10. Both of these guys actually might be able to get this job done here. We have somebody off, but we'll stay here for just a second. We've got Nico trying to make the double pass work. He does get inside JBH. JBH do give each other a little bit of room. Nico going for the cutback. And again, I don't know if he can get that done. Nope, slots right in behind almost. Almost had a good little couple switchbacks there. Maybe an overtake of the week video, but wasn't able to make that one stick. We'll have DRS though on JBH as we come to the front stretch. Vert steals Styles' fast lap. Very rude. You go too far behind. Sargent's lost a lot of time back there. 1 second back. Lost out on the DRS train. Style a little too close for comfort there. Almost gave Professor Phil's diffuser a little shave. Able to exit his trajectory at the last minute. A little squirrely on exit. Gonna have to slot in behind here in the S's. Phil is on the medium tires. Alright, Nico lost a little bit of ground there as we just saw. It's gonna be too far back up the pass here. The DRS is it's strong, but it's not that strong. Blockman over on Vitamin D. Vitamin D covers the inside. Blockman goes way on the outside. And Mike slots in the back. Slots in the back. So Verts has cut almost 5 seconds on Drag King. Does have those super soft tires. Did pit a lap earlier than I thought he was going to, so we'll see what that last lap is actually going to be like. Comparing the old mediums to the then very used super soft tires. Nico coming out of the final corner does have DRS here on JBH. Blockman takes the fast lap, 1:45.627. Rocket traveling up towards turn 1. Looks like Sub and Style. Sub seemed to be pretty... Style a little squirrely there on exit. definitely going to hurt. Blockman has position on Sargent. Sargent goes a little wide, going to lose another spot to Little Mike. Oh, and Blockman hits the gas and goes around off the course. That is one of those areas, definitely in F121, that I found to be an issue repeatedly. You hit the gas there and the car just snaps around. Those are actually the F1 cars, not these slugs that are the F2 cars. So very surprising that that actually happened there. Blackman giving up another position to Robert Elder. Sometimes you just have a lap that you want to get back, but obviously you can't. Side by side on exit here. Blackman does have the preferred line. Captain Schmeg just in bystander mode here. Fantastic exit. Lost a little bit on acceleration. Both drivers should have DRS. Nothing's going to be on as we head towards the top of the hill, turn 1. Style on the back of Phil. Chasing Sub. Drag King, as the leader of the race, picks up a penalty. Top 3 podium drivers currently have penalties. We know JBH has 9 seconds of penalties. It's incredible. He's going to drop him down in the 6th or 7th spot if it were in the race. Not even. You're talking almost a 10th place if the race were to end now. So the top 2, definitely Drag King lost his advantage as Nico gets a little love tap from Baloney Ham. Maybe not happy with that pass. Does have a bevy of penalties. That isn't going to help either way, though. So Verts is closing within 1 second of Drag King. Drag King did pick up that 3-second penalty on this past lap. As we approach 2 laps to go, I don't want this view. Thank you. Drag King now has Verts in DRS range. Pass on the track is for position, as that penalty is just moot at this time. Pack of penalties down here, Sub, Phil, and Style, all with 3 seconds. Nico, a little bit of a drift. Does have the podium pretty well locked up at this point, as long as he keeps it in between the lines and doesn't pick up a needless penalty that the other guys have picked up so far. So Verts, too far back, 6/10 into this DRS zone, will not be able to take advantage at this time, but will still have 1 lap remaining to do so. Style picks up another penalty. Blockman, too far back for a charge. Schmeg with Elder behind him, not enough for attack. Squish has Rocket. Rocket might be able to get something done here. Saw him take a peek. Did not execute the move. Oh, he did? Maybe? Almost? Got the switchback here. So we head into the next chicane. Good little battle. Doesn't have the preferred line. Does have speed on exit. Yeah, good little defense by Squish there. So here we go, heading into the final lap. Verts all over the back of Drag King. Schmeg picks up a 3-second penalty. Penalties all around. Vert's hot on Drag King's heels as we're going through the S's. We'll have that one big long DRS zone coming up here. Definitely tire difference between these two. It looks like Vert's might have gotten in the back of Drag King. Redress the position, so no penalties should come of that. Don't. A little bit of a contact there on exit. Almost looked like a slowdown, perhaps. So Drag King is back in the lead. We'll see where the DRS is zoned, who was ahead at what point. As we barrel down towards... Oh, it looks like Drag King actually had the DRS. Vert somehow is able to maintain pace here. They get together yet again. Great battle. This is for the race right here. You can see Nico hoping something happens. Nico's actually, if he stays right there, Nico is in line for the win here with that 3-second penalty that both guys have. He is currently inside that gap to both of them. Verts does have the position on track as they come through into corner 19 and 20. So it looks like Verts will cross the line as the race leader with Drag King in second, but Nico should be able to leapfrog both of them here, and he does. Jelly Bologna Ham is going to fall like a rock. We'll see he finished fourth, but he is going to tumble. Blockman Sargent do pass him as well. Captain Schmeg went for a little bit of a ride there after the line. Squish had a moment upon the exit of 19. Highside's going to come across here. Professor Phil taking the leisurely scenic route. Hopefully he had some fun tonight. Style. And let's follow Jerk home again. Jerk going for screen time leader of the evening. As we get all our money's worth here from our 16 lap 50% F2 Circuit of the Americas race here, Austin, Texas, USA, America. Coming out of corners 19 towards the last one. All right, Jerk, bring it home. Out of the final corner, across the line. Race number 2 is in the books. Nico picks up driver of the day. Congrats to him on the race win, being in position with those front two guys having those penalties. Obviously, it's very beneficial. So Nico takes the win. Verts crossed the line as the leader, but with the penalties ended up half a second back in second. Drag King rounds out the podium. Vitamin D in fourth. Blockman with fast lap gets fifth. Sargent sixth. Jelly Bologna Ham tumbles from fourth down to seventh due to the penalties. Robert Elder gets eighth. Captain Schmeg ninth. Rocket rounds out the top 10. Squish 11th. Highside 12th. Sublime in 13th. Professor Phil 14th. Style in 15th. Jerk in 16th. And Flavis with a pit retirement finishes in 17th. So there we go. 2 races. Mexico had some excitement there on the race to turn 1. Thought perhaps we were going to be 4 for 4 and get some excitement heading into turn 1 for Circuit of the Americas, but we did not, which I suppose is fortunate as well. No safety cars either, so my prediction did not hold. Had a couple yellow flags for some spins. Had some good action on track. Some clean passes, a little bit of bumps here and there, but everything seemed to be tidy for everybody to see if any incident reports are submitted. Sometimes in the heat of battle, that does happen. So, next week, F2, as we mentioned earlier, heads to Monaco and Saudi Arabia, where the walls are a part of the track. So, we shall see what we end up with there. Anyways, thank you for joining. I am InsaneSparty. This was F2 America's Thursday. Have a good night.